Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age Mythology Replay. Spawn bottom right side as the red Loki. You got Leyline Leia. Spawn top left side as a cyan. I can never remember these names. Fuxi. You got Weedpwnt. And we of course have the early Peach Blossom here. Very good. Gotta go for that immediately. Start getting into resource generation. There could be argument made. You can save the first 100 favor to get out the second one up and going. If there's hectic torches in the field, of course, it can be reduced down to 90 favor, which could be quite nice. Though I've never really seen PA players go for double Peach Blossom. It does summon out a Panda, which is nearly bulletproof, and you can't eat it for some odd reason. A lovely Panda. He climbs, tumbles, and rolls. Cannot be hunted. Shame. And we do have the Spy located on top of the Kafu. That's probably a good target to put your Spy. Overall, look how tall he is. He has a pretty good line of sight of everything. Of course, this benefit here, villagers get gather all resources 10% faster between yin and yang, which I think, one increases resources, the other increases damage or attack speed output. I can't remember exactly. Another Kafu now deployed in the field. Of course, just the early eco phase. This is the temple. You have 4 even queued on up. Give access to Troll, Hall of Thanes, Dwarven Breastplate, and of course the Cave Troll. Blue is currently aging up to, or science aging up to Chuyu. I don't think I've ever seen this one, or maybe I have. Yazi. Maybe it's the lesser of the selected Chinese gods, I think. At least the replays I cast. Which does give access to Dragon Dog with Sword. Or I see also a leopard print there. I don't know how to call it. Don't know much about Chinese mythology. It's a repeat wannabe. Heading down south. First year's going to intercept it. Does get a Dwarven Calibers there. Secrets cost less. Very, very nice there. The Aussie's heading down south. It does have a jump attack or a teleport attack there to quick closing distance. Does see it right there. Percy, of course, easily wins this fight. After all, a hero. The Aussie's a pretty good, what's it called? Harassment tool. We also got Yang for increased damage by 10% for all human soldier and siege weapons. So, does not affect heroes nor myth units. Does also has access to Lightning Blades, which does give his units a percentage stun attack, which is quite nice. Loki, of course, has healing spring he can always summon later on. Going for some raiding cavalry. Cyan has now deployed a secondary town center. Red has not gone for one. They're going to go for a bit of raid instead. Loki has a bit of wood stored and up. Storms for raiding cavalry. Raiding cavalry now moving around. Raiding cavalry rotating around. Of course, with the spy there, he does spot the one that's not a spy. Why focus him down first? Howdy. Does inside the sentry towers, even though they're taller than sentry towers. Well, that consumes all his population space. 1 out of 10, so Superior is not. He can fit 10 more or 9 more of those guys. Though granted, that is Age of Empires line of thinking. After all, you can put a whole bunch of elephants inside of a transport. Though they did made it so in Age of Empires 2, you can put if you max out a transport with elephants, it will actually start sticking elephant heads out of the transport. As a fun nod of that stupid logic. Oops. I've got, even though I am in the spectator mode, you can't you can pick on the buttons there. It does go for, sounds like another Sky Lantern perhaps. Could say for some more favor for another Cherry Blossom. Good number of fire archers in the field. They're anti-structure, anti-infantry. We do have the little man. I don't know what to call him. Nezha. Still not familiar with it, but offers quite a bit of fire damage later on, which is just a form of lingering damage. Do have now some halberdiers employed in the field, a counter cavalry unit. Over here, do you now have the medium rating cavalry rotating around?
Skipan.
It looks like one of the Kofu do go down, but not the spy.
Yao.
And looks like the last of the gazelles are starting to clean out up. There's still one more gazelle filled with 200 delicious food. Raiding cavalry rotating around. I think you should go for a healing spring, please. There's the healing spring. A good number of them are quite wounded. If he's going to go push forward for a bit of raid, I say leave these super wounded ones behind. Definitely these two. Argue for this one and this. Leave the two super wounded ones behind and send the other ones forward. You now have another queue. Got Nuba. Give access to Goddess of Drought. That's not exactly a goddess you want to worship. Focus on myth units and ranged soldiers. Give access to Tao Tui. That myth unit that sprints, charges head, and headbutt structures. With the civilizations, they added in the what's it called? They were adding in some Japanese ones, right? Don't know if that actually is fully released. I need to check up on that. I think that was releasing in November. That may have been Age of Empires 4. I need to double check that. Hell, haven't seen the new one. They did add the Chinese in a not so recent update, if that's what we're referring to. And it's actually a bit more fleshed out, unlike the extended edition. Another raiding cavalry there. The halberdiers and all these forces do fall back there. Needs have the halberdiers engaged. There are the county cavalry units there. Pioneer does go down, and the rest of these forces now falling on back. Got the age up there for the from Nuba. No, this is a different one I was thinking of. This is the Bao Wu. That's the one that's charged around and does headbutts. This one devours humans with its special ability, good against human soldiers. So it sounds like an early insta kill unit. And Lucas and Pumbaa here now being obtained. Yeah, I need to look up, after this game I can look up, see if the Japanese ever got added in the game. I know it has a bit more focus on the yokai, which is like the Japanese mythological creatures. Though a lot of Japanese and Chinese things do share some names and as well as some myths. So like the Greeks and Egyptians of the Sphinx. These guys now falling on back. I heard a good number of heroes being created. We do have now the Yang Dynasty just got deployed in the field, so all these guys can get plus 10 damage. And Loki did age up to Baragi to get access to flaming weapons to the battle boar. Good number of Pursuers. I always find Mass Pursuers a little bit more of a trap unit, but for Loki, of course, can get a chance of free myth units, so that's a good reason why to go for them. You also have a Troll here to help troll his opponent. They're just getting bopped by the Pursuers. And the Troll's going to be throwing rocks at the granary, or silo. Oh, does get another free Troll there. It throws a rock on that villager, gets trolled.
Yo.
Some villagers went down there. We do have now the White Horse Cavalry being deployed in the field. And a good number of the an extra Tao Tai, which are going to be multiplied by Pursuers. If you're fighting against a Loki, you tend to see a good number of Pursuers for the 3 myth units, that's for sure. Good number of Pioneers here. Flaming weapons to blow up by red does get free draw out, does offer divine damage, of course does less damage for all of these units, and immediately gets popped by the Pioneers. Among these recorded, including the battle boar. Tao Tai will keep going down there. More raiding cavalry can play forward. Medium infantry now being researched by red, so these are just killing Axemans. Flame weapons is almost expired, or extinguished, I should say. As extinguished. And remember, we still got the spy here, so he knows about those villagers.
Tilbuin.
Heavy cavalry being researched by Loki now.
Skipan.
Watchtower firing away. Of course, this military camp slowly going on down. Raiding cavalry going for a raid. Red has a number of villagers on the corners. They are exposed, but offense is the best defense. They have concealment at least. Cyan's definitely taking a hit there, but Red doesn't have too many forces traveling forward and will take a bit of time to destroy these structures. Watchtowers, of course, are decent. And we got good number of fire archers here. Fire archers have been a great option. After all, fire archers are anti-infantry, which is most of the composition of the Norse. We do have the extra trolls being employed in the field. More pioneers, another Tau T. Looks like Red's been quite consistent with the Perseus and throwing axemen, which are both countered by fire archers. Another troll there. He's getting a good number of 3 trolls. Does troll those fire archers. And I won't stop saying that joke. We do now have the another town center being established by Cyan. Red only has 1 town center, so Cyan has a good amount of extra villagers, but Red is doing a good job of calling those extra villagers. It does take out the coffee there, which also did play the end the god power sound effect there to alert Cyan the fact that a god power has, and in this case, a spy. A spy is no more. Proxy Hill Fort now being set. Probably going to go for some battering rams. Very good number of these fire archers there. Still just medium fire archers, but if he doesn't have enough head archers there on the field, he doesn't need the heavy fire archers. More ready cavalry being established there to engage the fire archers. Very good idea. Let's go for a number of Javeliers, which I disagree with. They are anti-range units, which are good against throwing axemen, but fire archers are also good against throwing axemen. Since throwing axemen are classified both as infantry and ranged soldiers, I've been liking the fact that they've been adding little descriptors to the units. Or some of them, at least. I think they should add a descriptor of what their unit types is for all units. Just so there's no confusion. Some of them are pretty obvious, since most cavalry are cavalry, and the few ranged cavalry do at least get looked at as ranged cavalry. Hill Fort deployed in the field. We do have some siege crossbows being deployed for countered. Medium battle swords being established as well. Bulky frontline infantry units there. There's the Ballet there, which is the fortress. Is up that structure there. Portable battery rams being deployed on the field. How portable. Another free Draugr. And looks like got a bit stunned there. I'm not sure what caused the stun. Could have been that one of the heroes. Oh, looks like the lightning weapons have been used in one of the fights there. I'm not sure what unit. Per location, cutting lightning heroes and ships grant exchange stun. I assume there's a time effect over time, rather than a one-time cast on a group of units. Maybe it is. Siege crossbow firing away. We got the bear here standing up. And more pioneers, more of the white horse cavalry, halberdiers, fire archers. So nice mixed army there from the Chinese. Do we have another battle boar? The battle boar is good good crowd control myth unit. Bucks some kicks around. I think its attack animation was sped up because it required too much strategy. Ooh, 3 and Hare, that's pretty good. Hari's a pretty good pulse multipliers. Battleborn and Taltai does go down, then Hari is still alive, so maybe pull back on Hari a little bit. It's pretty good myth unit, one of the better tier 2 myth units from Norse. The problem is, Heimdall, the god you get it from, is not very good for everything else. His god power is still pretty good under mine, but his upgrades are pretty weak. Good myth unit, good god power, bad upgrades, so you're going to have to really focus him to get any good value out of him. Good number of pioneers in the field, which are in fact ranged soldiers, so Huskarls will be a good counter to them. As well as the fire archers, which technically get countered by them, but it's still probably a good idea to go for a large number of Huskarls with this number of pioneers in the field. More battle boars being established. Raiding cavalry also a good anti-range unit, but he has a number of halberdiers. Does get an upgrader there. The master weaponry greatly ensnares cavalry units on hit, so greatly reduces the movement speed. Another Yazi deployed in the field. Yang just got deployed in the field, so gets plus some damage. Oak does go ahead and convert some of his villagers to Huskarls. Sun engage. Taltai is there. Raiding cavalry being pulled up by red. Loki does have defeats decent amount of manpower, so has control of Beacon Springs. This probably leads nearby structures to aid in that. Got a bit of a choke point there by Cyan or by red. Taltai immolates some of these forces there. Another dragon deployed in the field. The fun, there's a lot of myth units in the field. The mini gets picked off there. Yeah, right now I'm wondering if Huskarls would be a good choice as well as the raiding cavalry. There's a large amount of pioneers, so myth units just not going to cut it. Those villagers got hit pretty hard there.
Yow.
Some raiding cavalry deployed out there. He did go and queue up rallies here. Something you actually don't see in Age of Mythology too often. It's something you see all the time in Age of Empires 2, but not in Age of Mythology for some odd reason. Huskarls being deployed in the field. That must come from villagers being promoted. That is a desperate gambit. He has 33 villagers, was 84. Number of pioneers go down. This does give him the burst strength to counterattack, but it is a very big double-edged sword. Let's see, Loki has actually a big stockpile of food now, realizing, so maybe the economy balance is a bit of Loki's issue at the moment. He needs more dwarves. He's going just for more gatherers. All of his dwarves do cost gold. Gatherers are equal to villagers, so they don't have any negatives. Oh, got another electric weapon supply there. Doesn't last too long. More raiding cavalry pushing forward. Yeah, it hits some are a bit harder to track. We got free Frost Giant there. He's been mostly getting trolls from his free myth unit, so he actually got tier 3 or age 3 myth unit this time, which is significantly have firepower and damage. And the raiding cavalry pushing forward is exactly because that round of Huskarls what Red need to get back to the game, but he needs more civilians. He needs to sell perhaps some food to get some gold. His gatherers are equal to other villagers, just that dwarves have a bit more of an extreme effect. While his gatherers are just normal.
Skip.
I'll pick off some of these units here. Good number of villagers here. Actually, there's a large number of villagers. If Red's able to engage the villagers, that could be massive. He has 200 favor at the moment. Needs a little bit more to get out. Flame weapons would be great. He's starting to call all of these villagers off. Science is losing. He has about 4 groups of villagers getting hit at once. This is massive. He's starting to get some forces here, so trading villagers for training time. Not great, but not like he had a choice. Cyan gets called down to 62 villagers. He just lost about 20. Eradicates up to 41. For a very large number of raiding cavalry and three axes. He still has a massive food reserve, so he has plenty of food for raiding cavalry. They're heavy in gold. Throwing axemen is next. Similar next. Cyan's now down to 56 villagers. Massive calling there by Red. I think that wave of Huskarls was actually allowed him to turn the tides of the game. You actually don't see people get the Huskarls on the field, and usually just Last Gambit. In this case, far better than Last Gambit. It's one of the few times where the Norse can actually pull an all-in like that. But in this case, it wasn't all-in. That's the closest thing I can get from comparison. Besides losing more and more of these villagers, did not sequester them into the ballet or anything of that sort. Could have saved them, that's probably a big issue there. More science villagers going to go on down. Raiding cavalry has all been a great idea, since they're of course an anti-range unit. I was saying Huskarls, but the raiding cavalry did that job very well. And Cyan backs out the game. What an excellent play there by Red. Whether or not if that person realized that converting all those Huskarls in order to turn the tides was necessary. Either way, that's, I believe, what exactly happened. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.